가자고.
Open up. We're not the police. Do not be alarmed.
That's a strange way of reassuring someone. Holmes, they are children. My God, one of them is hurt.
What do you want? Don't come any closer. Are you the police?
Don't be afraid. I am a doctor. I'm going to look at your friend's wound.
Wait, Watson. I've got some questions to ask these children.
This is urgent, Holmes. In this filthy place, the risk of infection is very high, and the wound could get worse with every second lost.
The immediate danger for these children is not so much the wound as Mr. Fletcher.
Who?
Look at the wound, Watson. It's thin and precise. It was made by a sharp, well-kept blade. Any other blade, less well-kept, would have torn the tissue around it, and its size would be irregular.
So what does that imply?
In this area, who would take such great care with a blade? A butcher, of course. And the only butcher in the area is Samuel Fletcher, who at this moment is replacing a window that has been forced open. He's a man to hold grudges, as anyone around here will tell you.
The children are in danger.
A man as skillful with a knife as a butcher, and with a bad reputation to match, could easily strike a fatal blow by cutting the child's jugular. If he hasn't done it, it's surely because these little thieves broke into his shop at night to steal a piece of meat. The poor lighting in this area saved them. I can assure you that Mr. Fletcher has spent the day trying to trace these children, and if he finds them, wounds will be the least of their problems.
That's true. What do you want? Don't let the butcher find us.
어우, 애가 보이질 않네요. 이거 그 상처 하나만 보고 알아냈다고? 일단은 치료를 해야겠죠?
Dr. Watson will see to your wound, but the treatment won't be free. I don't need to remind you that life is hard, you know that already. Give me the address of a certain Kurtz, and the doctor will dress your wound. No address, no treatment.
I can't tell you, mister. Kurtz is a dangerous madman.
Holmes, you go too far. You have frightened the poor child.
심사숙고. 협박은 하고 싶지 않군요.
I could give Mr. Fletcher a compensation for the damage to his property, and he would certainly give up trying to find you then. But for that, you'll have to cooperate.
Or else?
Or else he'll likely find a less agreeable way of repairing the damage.
Wait, mister. I know everyone here. I'll help you. Only protect us from the butcher.
I am looking for Kurtz. Tell me where I can find him, and I'll smooth things over with Mr. Fletcher.
Everyone here knows Kurtz. He's the worst person in the area. We call him the Colonel because he fought against the Zulus in Africa. He got chucked out the army because he's completely crackers. He lives at number 8 Batty Street.
Good. Watson, see to the wound. Then we will settle the problem between these young men and Mr. Fletcher.
맨날 쟤한테 다 맡겨요. 커츠의 주소. 베티가 B번지에서 커츠를 찾을 수 있을 거예요. 공동묘지를 나가서 왼쪽으로 꺾은 다음 오른쪽으로 꺾으면 거기서 도착하겠죠. 아, B번지가 아니고 8번지구나. 8번지는 막다른 골목의 끝에서 오른편이에요. 공동묘지를 나가서 왼쪽으로 꺾고 그 다음에 오른쪽으로.
We must protect these children from that butcher, Holmes.
It won't be necessary. I've had dealings with Samuel Fletcher before now. He's not the monster I've made him out to be. If he had wanted to kill them, he would have done so, even in dim light. By wounding the little thief, he wanted to warn him never to set foot in his shop again. Forget Mr. Fletcher, Watson.
You mean you lied to frighten those poor children?
Exactly. Clever, wasn't it?
아이, 셜록 홈즈 마음에 안 들어. 말하는 게 너무 뭐라 그럴까? 마음에 안 들어요. 협박이 얘가 제일 잘하는 것 같아. 추리보다.
Well, mister, that's a mighty fine outfit you're wearing there. You stand out like a sore thumb, and that's no lie. Watch that you don't get it all dirtied up, but you'd be welcome to come back to my place. It's not far, and I'd sponge it down for you.
Don't go back to Johnny's place. You'll get malaria.
thank you, madam. I'm certain that you would make a very good job of it. That will not be necessary, however. But your thought was a kind one.
We'd best be leaving now, sir.
Here, please accept this sovereign as a token of my gratitude for your concern.
Well, I never. Thank you. That's right generous of you, my, lordship.
You are very welcome, madam.
Madam, he calls me. Bless my garters. What a gent.
If you're ready now, sir.
Yes, let us go.
What a remarkable man, the Prince Woodville, to talk to such a woman as though she was an equal.
Let's find Batty Street.
제가 왕자구만. 신문에서만 봤던, 보지도 못했죠. 들었던. 왼쪽으로 가서 오른쪽으로. 베티 8번 가. 여기 맞겠지? 뭐라고 써져 있을 텐데 분명히.
Burner Street.
버너? 베티 아니었나? 이상한데? 베티가 맞는데? 공동묘지를 나가서 오른쪽으로 꺾은 다음 오른쪽으로 꺾었는데 내가 분명히.
Burner Street.
11번 9번
Burner Street.
번호를 베티로 하진 않았을 텐데 번역을. 7번 9번 8번은 어디 갔어? 반대쪽인가?
Burner Street.
여기야? 여기 아닌 것 같은데요? 이상하다. 요상하네? 여긴가 아닌가벼.
What should we do next, Holmes?
왼쪽으로 꺾어서? 왼쪽으로 꺾으라는 게 큰 길로 가라는 거 아닌가? 베티가 여긴 버너예요. 버너. 아 여기구나. 반대쪽이었구나. 공동묘지가 여기니까 여길 나와서 왼쪽으로 꺾어서 오른쪽으로. 아까 그 왕자 온 것 때문에 길을 잃었네. 여기죠? 베티?
Batty Street.
끝에 있을 거예요. 여기 몇 번이야? 6번. 여기 아니야? 8번 8번.
Closed. Closed. Closed.
이대로 끝날 건가? 근처에서 한번 물어보자.
What should we do next, Holmes?
방법이 있을 텐데. 여긴데 어떻게 들어갈까? 갈 방법이 없어.
Closed. Batty Street.
뭘까요?
Batty Street.
어떻게 들어가지? 어떻게 들어가? 왓슨 말해보게.
What do you think, Holmes?
근처 사람들한테 얘기해보면은 뭔가 나올 것 같았는데 그런 것도 없고. 육감도 안 먹히고.
Closed.
들어가려면
A wine and liquor seller. He must make a fortune in this area.
모르겠네? 반대쪽에서 가야 되나? 반대편에서? 어차피 건물은 요거니까 아닐 것 같은데요? 아닐 것 같은디? 이거 뭐야?
A lot of foreigners have opened shops in this area.
저기 어떻게 들어가? 들어갈 수가 없어. 모르겠네. 어떻게 가지? 아, 이 열쇠가 있구나. 아, 맞다. 아까 거기서 찾았지. 멍청하기는. 역시 어드벤처 게임을 거의 안 해보다 보니까 요런 거에 약하네. RPG 게임이면은 자동으로 썼을 텐데.
My God, Holmes, it's appalling. And the smell. But what can have happened here?
아이고.
Stay calm, Watson. Take note of every detail and be careful not to move anything.
Very well, Holmes.
그래도 잘 왔어요. 잘 찾아왔어. 잘까진 아닐지 모르겠지만 어떻게 왔어요. 그럼 된 거지 뭐.
A military badge of the 58th Infantry Regiment of Her Majesty and a letter stipulating Kurtz's exclusion from the unit. He served in 1881.
At that time, the regiment served in South Africa. Kurtz was in the Boer War.
A newspaper covering the war in South Africa. Kurtz must have been following the war with some interest.
The Boer War is abominable, and it still rages.
시체는 좀 나중에 보고. 이거 뭐야?
Grapes! What are they doing there?
포도? 아까 걔 이름 뭐였지? 무슨 포도였는데?
This is yesterday's newspaper.
이거 뭐야?
Someone wrapped some meat up in this newspaper. The blood is still fresh.
다른 건 없겠죠? 맞다, 포도 먹는 고릴라였어요. 맞다. 포도 먹는 고릴라.
An
이건 또
old
뭐야?
photo. It's written to our comrade Jeremy Kurtz from Commando J. Malan, Bloemfontein, 1883.
Kurtz served as a Boer commando. He fought against his country.
보호 특공대에서 싸웠대. 근데 보호 전쟁이 뭔지를 모르니까 제가 일단은 요거 조사합시다. 여긴 또 뭐가 있는데?
The dog's bowl is empty. Someone brought food for the dogs, probably just before the fight broke out.
And just after they had been fed, they attacked a man to eat him. Incredible.
Let us look at our deduction board, Watson.
그렇군요. 요게 또 나왔구나. 살인범들은 광기를 유발하는 독을 갖고 있었다. 커츠의 살인에 대한 조사. 커츠 추리. 이상한데? 아, 맞구나. 아마 독을 썼겠지, 걔네들이. 주교한테 했던 것처럼. 아유, 이 시체하는 게 제일 싫어요.
What terrible wounds. The dogs must have been rabid.
It is a dog bite. I can see the tooth marks.
This part is in shreds. The skin tissue has decomposed. Yet the death is recent.
이상한데?
This bandage is a day or two old, no more.
손가락 짤. 아, 얘가 걔를 죽였나보다. 그러면 주교를. 그런 것 같은데요? 손가락이 하나 잘려있네?
This bandage is a day or two old, no more. Please take note, Watson.
The same finger that we found at the Bishop of Knightsbridge's house. Holmes!
그렇죠? 뭔가 또 있을라나? 특이한 게?
Only a dog could inflict so deep a wound, but it appears that the wound was gnawed at afterwards.
요거 한번 써보죠. 육감. 얘는 끝났어. 다른 거를 조사해봅시다.
A torn piece of a letter.
커츠의 편지. 대령님께 말란 특공대의 수뇌부에서 대령님의 운영 방식에 불만을 표출했다는 소식은 들었습니다. 수뇌부 측에서는 그 방식이 너무 급진적인 데다가 잔인하다고 판단했습니다. 저희는 이 나라를 지키고자 하는 겁니다. 그 동기가 경건하면서도 공정하죠. 저희가 필요한 전투원은 불을 갈망하는 암살자가 아니라 고귀하면서도 의욕이 있는 자란 말입니다. 당신 같은 사람을 남겨놓을 만큼의 관용은 없을 겁니다. 그렇군요.
It seems to be a letter of dismissal. Apparently our friend Kurtz served in both camps in South Africa and was never a colonel, but that doesn't surprise me.
A traitor, deserter, and a false colonel. What a charming gentleman.
얘는 또 어떻게 죽은겨?
This part is in shreds. The skin tissue has decomposed, yet the death is recent.
아까 걔랑 같은 말 나왔죠?
What a horrible wound.
The skin was deeply torn.
또 뭐가 있나? 얘 왜 죽었어? 얘는 그 일을 제대로 처리 못해서 죽은 건가?
What a horrible wound.
뭐야 이건 또.
Size 9. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers.
아 얘가 9문짜리 신발을 신고 왔구나.
Size 9. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers.
그 주교의 방에서 봤던 9문짜리 신발 바로 이거였죠. 얘는 또 달라?
This part is in shreds. The skin tissue has decomposed, yet the death is recent. What a horrible wound.
별 특별한 건 없네요. 그게 단데?
The skin was deeply torn.
보자. 또 뭐가 있나?
The material on this tray is rather odd.
물건이 이상해? 이거 뭐지?
Small burnt balls.
A pipe with a strange smell.
어딘가에 약을 탔을 거예요.
A small burner. There can be no doubt. Judging by the material on the tray and the pipe, the man smoked opium.
Opium. I doubt if this man could have made his drug here. He would have needed a real laboratory.
다 조사했겠지? 뭐가 또 있나요? 다 본 것 같아요. 여길 이제 조사하면 돼. 잘 짜맞춰서. 다른 거 없는 것 같네요. 어디야? 이거 커츠 추리. 담뱃대. 그는 아편을 피웠다. 개. 살인이 일어나기 전에 개들은 먹이를 먹였다. 먹이를 먹었고 개들이 그자. 그의 시체에는 물린 상처들이 가득하다. 개 역시도 마찬가지죠. 개들의 시체에는 물린 상처들이 가득하다. 이거 뭐야? 그의 시체에는 물린 상처들이 가득. 개들의 시체에도 물린 상처가 많고. 개들과 맹렬히 싸웠단가? 개들을 학대했어. 개들을 학대했어. 그리고 살인이 일어나기 전에 개들은 먹이를 먹었어요. 개들은 중독된 상태였다. 맞잖아. 근데 뭐가 틀렸나봐. 걔들을 학대한 게 아니냐. 걔들을 이용해서 그를 고문한 거죠. 아닌가? 걔들과 맹렬히 싸웠다는 걸 알 수 있지. 걔들의 시체에도 물린 상처가 가득하고 이 아저씨한테도 물린 상처가 가득해. 그거 두 개를 보면은 뭘 알 수 있어? 물린 상처가 둘 다 많은데? 그거 두 개를 가지고 뭘 알 수 있어? 이 중에서? 살인이 일어나기 전에 개들은 먹이를 먹었어. 아, 개끼리 서로 공격한 거 아니야? 개들을 학대했고 결과 개들에게 공격당해? 개들은 중독된 상태. 이건 맞는 것 같아요. 밑쪽도 한번 봐볼까요? 근데 이 위쪽은 위에로서 끝날걸요? 아까는 그랬는데 이건 다른가? 밑에까지 연결되나? 주교는 가해자의 손가락을 자기의 이로 물어뜯었다. 도구. 여기에는 아편을 만들 만한 도구가 존재하지 않는다. 이걸 봐서는 아편을 공급받고 있었죠. 손가락. 그는 손가락 하나가 없다. 그는 주교의 살인범 중 하나예요. 담뱃대와 함께 받았겠지.
My deduction chart is incomplete, Holmes. We are missing an important detail.
Let's return to the clinic and ask if our friend might lend us his morgue for 2 hours.
What are you going to do?
I'm torn between a nap and a picnic.
Oh, I've had enough, Holmes.
The next step of our investigation, Watson, leads us inevitably to a post-mortem. As you're well aware, in the instance where a body's vital organs no longer function, every minute is vital. Be quick now and procure the room while I arrange the transport.
Very well. I will see you later.
이 실패한 건가? 추리에 실패한 건가요? 모르겠네. 성공한 건 아닌 것 같은데 아니면 원래 단서가 조금 부족한 걸까? 모르겠다. 지금이 맞는 거예요?
Ah, Grant, you are still here. I need to ask a favor from you.
What sort of favor, my dear friend?
Might I use your morgue for a couple of hours? It concerns an affair of the greatest
Use the morgue? Whatever for? Letting you poke your nose in everywhere is one thing, but closing my eyes to I don't know what unsavory practices.
No, it's nothing like that.
No, it isn't possible, sorry.
Grant, listen to me.
Don't insist. Where do you think you are? Perhaps because you come from the rich area, you think you are entitled to do whatever you like. But here in Whitechapel, it's the real world, you understand? The real world, where we have to take risks. Do you even know what that means? And this shabby health centre where I've been stagnating for years, it's a public establishment under my authority, for whatever that's worth. I'm responsible for it. Responsible, do you understand?
Of course I understand, Grant.
Good.
I understand, first and foremost, that you are a coward.
What?
A coward, I said, sitting on your backside behind a desk for years, complaining about your fate without even trying to change a single thing about it.
I won't allow you.
And you dare to talk to me about risks? I, who was wounded in Afghanistan while in Her Majesty's service, and who, for a great many years, has taken part in some of the most dangerous criminal investigations the country has ever known.
But
as for being responsible, as you call it, it begins with doing your job properly, particularly when one is a doctor and caring for the poorest people within our society. The real life? Ha ha! Don't make me laugh. I am a doctor too, Grant, don't forget. And I'm ashamed of my profession when I see the state of this centre.
it's not my...
So, your disgusting morgue, you are going to allow me to use it, dear friend, because I urgently need it for a vitally important affair that is way over your head, and whether it pleases you or not. Understood?
If you want to be like that about it, do whatever you like. I wash my hands of the entire thing.
That doesn't surprise me. This is a dismal place. Have you ever carried out a post-mortem, Holmes? It requires a great deal of precision.
Don't worry, I learn quickly. Hand me a bone saw.
내가 직접 하라고? 나 부검하기 싫은데. 이거 좀 잔인한 거 아니에요? 아이고, 하기 싫은데. 갑시다. 얘기 한번
What should
해보고.
we do next, Holmes?
이건 조작이 참. 가자. 아이고.
Go carefully, Holmes, even so.
이걸 써. 닦아내, 닦아내.
I must clean the body first. I must mark the places to cut.
아, 이거 싫은데. 나보고 자르라고? 메스 들고?
My notches are ready.
난 안 됐어. 그 다음 어떡하죠? 갈빗대를 개방해?
I can't do that.
그 다음에 피펫?
I can't do that.
핀셋인가?
I can't do that.
여기서 또 잘라?
No, it is unnecessary. No, it is unnecessary.
기다려봐. 피펫 이건 뭐죠? 이거 뭐 하는 건지 모르겠네.
This liquid found in the lungs should be able to tell us something.
아,
I can't do that. No, it is unnecessary.
알았어. 뭔지 알았어. 여기도
I
열어.
can't do that.
여기죠? 아이고. 이건 또 뭐야?
A ball of paper swallowed recently.
종이를 삼켰대. 생각보다 안 잔인했어요. 다행히도. 나는 막 피 줄줄 넘치고 피가 나온댄다. 뭐 몸을 닦아는 건 줄 알았는데 그 정도 아니었네.
What should we do next, Holmes?
I must analyze the contents of my pipette.
좋아. 그러면 집에 가야 돼? 이 근처에 뭐가 있나? 여기 있는 거 같은데요?
Chemistry material.
And smells as bad as the one in our sitting room at Baker Street.
Chemistry material.
And smells as...
성분 이거 가득 찬 피펫.
This liquid found in the lungs should be able to tell us something.
이거 아까 한번 해봤어요. 이거 어떻게 하는지 몰라서 아까 엄청 헤맸지. 요거를 사용하고 돌려서 4개 하나 4개 하나. 아, 이거 아까 처음 했을 때 아예 몰라가지고 너무 오랫동안 못했어요 이걸. 야, 이거 어렵다. 5 둘 야, 이거 나중에 엄청 어려운 거 아니야? 여기 쉽다. 둘. 하나만 틀려도 끝나니까 이게. 이거 하나. 됐어요.
Poison, and apparently very virulent.
화학적 분석 최종 결과. 나이츠브리지 교수가 흡입한 독에 대한 분석 결과 광기에 가까운 공격성을 유발, 죽음을 초래하는 물질, 위 사건의 경우 심장 발작으로 인한 사망. 커츠가 흡입한 독에 대한 분석 결과 광기에 가까운 공격성을 유발하는 물질, 근육의 내구성을 상당 부분 강화하고요. 깊은 상처와 함께 피부 조직의 심한 퇴화를 유발, 죽음을 초래하지 않는 물질이랍니다. 근육의 내구성을 강화하고 이런 게 왜 있지? 다 됐네. 다 됐네, 왓슨.
We must finish our deduction board, Holmes.
그러도록 하지. 커츠 추리. 걔들은 중독된 상태였고. 뭐가 또 새로 나왔어? 아닌데? 여기는 맞는 것 같아요. 주교의 살인범 중 하나. 아, 여기 맨 위에 커츠의 폐에는 아편의 흔적이 남아있다. 이거 아까도 있었나? 몰랐네. 그는 아편과 독의 합성물에 중독되었다. 최종 결론. 주교와 같은 독에 중독되었어요. 아니야? 오, 이게 이어지네, 아래랑. 주교와 같은 독에 중독. 만들어져 있는 아편을 담뱃대와 함께 받았고요. 뭐야? 그에게 담뱃대를 줬다. 주교의 살인범 중 하나? 공범자들은 그에게 담뱃대를 줬다? 같은 독에 중독되었다. 공범자에 의해 중독되었다. 됐어.
That was a most instructive post-mortem. This man was murdered by his accomplices because of his missing finger.
I see. He was overly conspicuous, walking around with a bandaged hand, as the police would have been looking for a man with a missing finger. But how did they manage to disguise the murder by making it look like a dog attack?
The post-mortem revealed the presence of poison in his system. Everything points to it being a less potent form of the poison we found in the bishop's rooms. This man died as much from the poison as from fighting against those animals. I believe this new version of the substance provokes such a rage that the victim attacks anything in his path, and in this instance it was dogs. We're dealing with sorcerers' apprentices whose creations are ever evolving. They are attempting to obtain a particular effect, and they try out their formulae on human guinea pigs.
You're saying that his accomplices forced him to drink it?
No, he took it himself, voluntarily. The poison wasn't to be found in his blood, but in his lungs. I also discovered numerous traces of opium.
I'm beginning to see. They mixed this horrible poison with his opium, knowing that he would soon smoke it to ease the pain caused by his wound.
Exactly. And such a profound knowledge of both chemistry and toxicology is uncommon. Very well. We know the reason and the manner, but we're really not any further ahead. How will we find the two other men who murdered the bishop? By going to 13 Burner Street. It is in this area.
But where did you get that address, Holmes?
From his stomach.
I see. He wanted to get rid of the address.
No, he wanted revenge.
I don't follow you.
When the man with the missing finger began to feel the effects of the poison, he knew that he was going to die, and he knew that there would be a post-mortem. Shall we go?